Hi everybody, I am Trish. Welcome to my channel, The Purple Yarnivore, where we are doing everything stitch marker. As I promised, today we are this is gonna be our first tutorial, and we're going to start off really nice and easy. We don't want to scare anybody away. So we're going to do some stitch markers. These are going to take you no time at all. And these are stitch markers that I think anybody can do. So let's get started. First, I'd like to tell you about everything that we'll be using. These here are what we call jump rings. These, I have gold and silver. These are 6mm jump rings. These here also are jump rings, but they are 15mm jump rings. These gold and silver are what we call leverback earrings, also known as French earrings. This is a lobster clasp. So I'm going to show you today how to put together the stitch markers for crochet and some stitch markers for knitting. So stick around and let's have fun. Okay, so I also have these. These are flat nose needles, and these are needles. Did I say needles? These are flat nose pliers, and these are round nose pliers. So what we're going to do to start is we are going to take our first jump ring. Now, I do this with my fingers because I don't mind tearing up my nails. But what you want to do is you want to find the little slit in the jump ring. Let me see if I can zoom in a little. Okay, so you find the slit. Sometimes I just run my nail along until it catches. And that's when I know the slit has been found. This is what we call open jump ring, by the way. So what you do is you'll want to take your flat nose pliers. Let me zoom in a little bit. So you'll take your flat nose pliers, put it right next to that little slit, the opening of your jump ring. Maybe you want to put it kind of like this. And then you're going to take your other jump ring. And you don't want to twist it up. You want to move it directly forward or directly backward. Okay, I'm going to do this with my fingernails because that's what I'm used to. So you're going to see that little slit in there? So you're going to take it and you're going to move it directly forward or backward. You don't want to move it side to side. See how it's open? Now, when you close it, you're going to want to move it completely in the same direction. You want it to close, but you don't want to move it in any way except directly forward or directly backward. Okay, so now that we have this open, what we want to do is grab one of our charms. Now I have this charm here. It's got the gold on it. I like to match up my findings with the gold on here. So if this was silver with the purple and white, I would use a silver jump ring. But that's just me, you know. So you're going to take your jump ring, put it through the charm hole, let that hang, and then for the crochet, I'm going to take this. Now you see that this is facing forward. When you open this up, this part is going to be hooked onto your project. You want your charm to be facing this way. So when I put these on, I take this and face it so that it's pointing to the back of the charm. So I'm just going to slide that on the hole. Just like that. Then I'm going to take the jump ring, and you can use your flat nose pliers. You want to line the flat nose pliers kind of like this. You don't want to put them on like this, because there is a chance that you won't get that hole closed up all the way. This makes it more possible for you to open and close it directly forward or directly backward. So we're going to take this and we're going to move it back into place so that it lines up on the other side and it's completely closed. And as you can see, you could barely just see the slit there because it's been closed just right. Zoom in there a little bit. And look, I'm going to close this up. And see how it's facing the back? Some of these will kind of dangle to the side. But this is what it looks like when it's done. And you just made a stitch marker. See how easy that was? Let's do it again. Let's do it with a silver ring. So I'm going to find that slit. Sometimes they're already kind of open anyway. But I find the slit. I'm going to take it, my needle nose pliers, move it directly back, just like that. I'm going to take my charm, and this one is outlined in silver so that my jump ring matches the silver in the charm. And I'm going to slide that charm right onto the jump ring. Just like that. I'm going to take my crochet or a French earring or lever back. And since this is facing kind of forward, I'm going to make sure that this part is towards the back. And I'm going to slide it through this hole. Right there, you can see the hole. I'm going to slide that right onto the jump ring. I'm going to hold my jump ring like this, put my flat nose pliers on it like this so that it's up and down, not side to side. I'm going to take it and I'm going to hold this side with my fingers. And I'm just going to bring that forward. And I'm going to try my best to line it up perfectly so that you don't even see a gap. See that? And sometimes you could take it and use your flat nose and kind of press it together like this if you're having any issues. And look. It is a second stitch marker. See how easy that is? Woohoo! And with charms, I really don't do a lot of embellishments because you start putting a lot of stuff on it and making it too dangly. It's going to get caught up in your work. It's going to snag. As beautiful as some of them look, there's a lot of like dangly stuff, and that's all fine if you're making a pair of earrings, but you don't want anything to get caught on your work. Okay, so let's say we don't like the lever back earrings and we would prefer a lobster clasp. I believe this is a 20mm lobster clasp, by the way. They open like this. So since that's silver, I'm going to do a silver. So I'm going to take it. Put my pliers up and down instead of side to side. You can see that there's that little slit there. I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to just twist it directly forward. You don't want to, well, you don't want to twist it, but you want it to move directly forward and backward, okay? So let's see that again. I'm going to put it back where it was. Okay. So we're going to take it and we're going to move it directly back or directly forward, depending on, you know, left-handed, right-handed, whatever. Move it directly like that. And I think I have room. You want to make sure it's open enough so that you have room to slide on your charm. So I'm going to take this rainbow charm and I'm going to slide it onto the jump ring. Then it's the same with my lobster clasp. I know this is probably going to face like this. I want this part going towards the back. So I'm going to slide this on like this. Because when you put it on your stitches, you want to look at it. You don't want that facing backwards. You want to see the rainbow. Okay, so now I got it on there. I'm going to take this. And again, if you feel more comfortable, you can take your round nose pliers and just use both of them to close the clasp. I'm just more comfortable just using a finger, both my fingers or the flat nose pliers and my finger. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring it directly back. You don't want to twist it or move it apart. And as you can see, that is completely closed. And just to be sure, you could take your flat nose pliers and press it over that slit just to make sure everything's lined up. And there you go. You have a stitch marker with a lobster clasp. Pretty cool, huh? See, it's that simple. Another reason I wanted to say why I don't do a lot of embellishing is because when you get these cute little charms, you know, they speak so much for themselves. Like, they can stand alone, in my opinion. You don't need to do anything. I mean, you can add beads and any other embellishments that you want, but they're just so pretty. Like this rainbow, they're just so pretty. You don't need to add anything to it to make it look more beautiful. Okay, so let's do this again. Let me grab another lobster clasp. Okay, we're going to take our jump ring. We're going to find that slit. That is right here. We're going to take this and we're going to move it directly forward or backward, whichever direction you're most comfortable with. Lord, I've had too much coffee today. Too much coffee. I'm vibrating. Okay, so you got that open. You're going to take your charm. Ooh, let's do the candy one. You're going to take your charm. You don't want your pliers to block the opening. Sorry for that. You're going to slide it on just like that. You're going to take your lobster clasp and slide it right onto that jump ring. Then you're going to take your jump ring and simply close it directly backward or forward, depending on what direction you're working in. Clamp this to make sure that it's shut tight. And there you go. How can you sweeten up a sweet? Oh, that reminds me of a song. Pour some sugar on me. Yeah. Because I love this marker. Pour some. Okay. Anyway. So now let's get to some really easy knitting markers. Okay. So we're going to use these. And we're going to use these. So let's start up with the gold. You can get gold ones like this, but these are the only ones that I have right now. So this is what I'm going to use. My daughter's in the background. Forgive her. She knows not what she does. Okay. So I opened up the jump ring. I usually just use my fingers, but I'm going to use these flat nose pliers just, you know, for the tutorial. Okay, so you're going to take, I'm going to use this ghost. It's got the gold on it. Isn't that cute? OMG. Okay. And I'm going to take this, the big jump ring. I'm going to slide that on there. I'm going to take this, move it directly forward and or backward, depending on where you're coming from. Voila! You have a knitting stitch marker. How do you like that? That is so cool. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do a silver one this time. So I'm going to take this. I found my slit. I'm going to move this backwards, directly backwards, like that. Let's do this little paw. This is like a burnt orange color, but look at the glitteriness of the paw. Glitter paws, glitter paws. That is so cool. That's what I love about them. Okay. You're going to slide that on your stitch marker or your jump ring. It will become a stitch marker, I swear. And then you're going to take the big jump ring. Hopefully I open this up enough. Slide that on there. You're going to take this. Move it directly forward or backward, depending on what direction you're coming from. And I'm just going to take this and press it over that slit to make sure both sides are lined up. It's not perfectly lined up. I don't like that. I'm a perfectionist. Okay. So I'm just going to move that just a tad more. There we go. Zoom in. Come on. There you go. Now I find that perfect. Not one side or the other is before or behind That's perfect. That is perfect. And there you have a knitting stitch marker. You might look at this part. This also has a slit, but these ones that I got, they have this kind of like interlocking quality. They're really nice. I am going to link all this stuff in the description box. A lot of this stuff I get off Amazon. So let's see what else. Okay, so I still have 2 more. Okay, so I'm just going to do this quickly now, because once you get the hang of it, this is just going to be a breeze for you. Okay, this is just going to be a breeze for you. Slide that on. Slide that on. Bring these together. Boom, jump ring or stitch marker. Oh, my tongue is so twisted today. Okay. So I found the slit. I'm going to bring it directly back. Slide that on. Slide that on. And close that. And that is perfect. That is so easy, isn't it? Super, super easy. And look, in what, 20 minutes with all my jibber jabber, look how many markers we just made. Look. We made all these. Hey, I got something funny to tell you. I hope I can manage to edit this at the end of my video. Here's the thing, and I'm kind of chuckling about it right now. I am learning how to edit. I am trying so hard. I know I need to take a class or something for it. I am not literate in that way, So I was talking to someone tonight, Betsy, and she was talking about how, I'm really going to love editing or something like that, And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll try to get on the video editor app again. And so an hour goes by. I'm trying to put a little bit of music at the very front to do some musical intro, Well, I get the music in there, but I can't figure out how to get it to cut off at the beginning of my tutorial. So it goes to the beginning of my tutorial and then my tutorial starts, but you're still hearing the music. You hear my tiny little voice in the background. I couldn't figure out how to get it to stop. Try editing, they say. You'll love it. Anyway, I'm so sorry for the cutoff part. I swear you did not miss anything. Anyway, I hope that you were able to learn something and that you really have so much fun making stitch markers. They really do become addicting, So like and subscribe, share. I think everyone deserves a chance to learn how to make stitch markers. I hope you enjoy watching my channel. If anything, for my sparkling personality. We'll have so much fun, right? Okay. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. I hope that I can manage to add this to the end of my video. Anyway, see ya. Bye.